You can now find us at Vimeo at the Court of Public Opinion, where we keep up with current events and other topics, followed with a Third Watch update and the field report. You can see all these new changes all combined together in one episode at Vimeo. Up next, the Third Watch update.
You're listening to the Third Watch News Update.
Thank you for listening to the Third Watch update. And we've been following some space weather news. Also, I was watching some more reports on China, North Korea, and where our position as far as the USS Carlson and the Navy Armada. Just keep praying. I think that we're seeing some real significant changes. I know some people say that, why are we hearing about this report? And I think it's too early to still report on this, and it's too easy to get swept away by some of the other reports. I do know this. President Trump really means business. He is shut out CNN and MSNBC, and you're seeing a huge shakeup in the media. It's something to watch. But this, of course, I can't watch this. I found this from a YouTube channel, Mary Greeley. And, I could see this. This doesn't make sense to a lot of people, and I don't know that it will right away. I'd say just keep praying. I think watching our military reposition itself, and I'm not quite sure, but it's too early to tell where this is going. But you just noticed there was a report with the North Korea that is making more threats. So obviously something's happening here. I mean, why we should be there is another reason, but I do believe this threat went ignored for a long time, and something had to happen. Our military is pretty keen on these things, and they see a threat. They need to position themselves where they need to be positioned. So I'm not sure we're really going to know right away what's going to happen, but that's why they call it strategic planning, or situational awareness. Like I said, I don't know if you can follow this every day. I do notice these reports, but I think this is going to be something that's going to be going on for some time. And I think that they're not playing down the threat. North Korea has been threatening and for some time, but it's some reason or another, there's things that are going on that we won't know about. I just kind of assume that that's the way our, special operations actually really does work. You don't report this stuff. You don't anyone that's ever grown up and, you normally don't hear about these things till after the fact, and look at this report. That's another example. So we just keep praying, but we're going to keep watching this. But again, I don't know that that's going to change very much. In fact, I still think it's way too early to assess this, but we're going to do our best to continue to best assess what's going on here and follow it and try to keep up with it. Okay, and then let's look at this report. This I found on BP Earthwatch and the Earth-facing CME, and actually this was actually a solar explosion. If you read into this closely, it says that it would have the capability of knocking out shortwave radios. So something to watch. More of these kind of reports. To me, if I'm looking at Matthew 24, the signs in the sun, moon, and the stars in heaven, I would say this is probably what's going on. And looking at these reports, this is an Earth-facing, well, almost Earth-facing, close enough, close call, that's what we call it. Then I would look at this report and I'd follow that. This is getting more interesting as time goes on. But the best way to assess it is just continue to follow it and see where some of these, sunspots, they actually number them right here. This is AR2644. I can't really see this because it's actually really tiny print, but that's what they name these sunspots. So when they go off and things like that, usually from what we've been watching from our assessments in the past, that usually within that 48 hour period, you notice like an increase in volcanoes and increase in earthquakes. I mean, we're just trying to get a grip and assess this best, but that's usually been the pattern in these news stories. All right, so we're going to continue with more here at the Third Watch Update. I just saw breaking news that it looks like Fox News and Bill O'Reilly's agreement has ended. I just saw that from just a pop-up feed. looks like there, again, goes back to we're not quite sure. There's a big shakeup in the media. There's a big shakeup in every area, actually. So watching these reports now, I know a lot of people have been watching how the media has been portraying some of the news stories, and I think that you're seeing a whole new change happen in both on the left and right, alternative media as well, and then also on YouTube. So it's really hard to assess all this, but Alex Jones, Megyn Kelly, now Bill O'Reilly. I mean, it's a big, huge, Tommy Lauren, Glenn Beck. It's a lot. So we like to focus on these stories because to me, this is what I think down the road we're going to watch this. And, if you've followed some of my posts in the past, this has been my primary reason I even got on a YouTube channel. To me, we've been watching these stories for over 30 years. We've personally been affected by a story quite like this. In fact, the little girl in the corner, I had a little sister that was in a situation similar to this. So this has been our issue. And this is the only reason I created the Compass New Media, Third Watch Update, Field Report. So the whole reason I do what I do, even though we lost our way sometimes, and believe me, we've had family crisis. But to me, our primary mission is to end trafficking. So when I started this campaign for 11/2017, we needed to turn this around, and we need to be there to support one another, support our troops, support our president, because I believe down the road, President Trump is positioning things eventually very soon. It's going to take some time. I know a lot of people want a quick fix, but this has been going on for a long time, and I don't know that we're assessing this properly. You have to look down the road. That's why please continue to pray for special operation officers, our president. They are making important decisions, and believe me, we might not know the ins and outs, but there's a reason we need to be praying. And there's a lot of people that are going to see some significant changes. We're seeing it everywhere. But we want to do our best to assess it. I'm not looking to see this go ugly either, but it has been ugly for a long time. I think that's kind of the cancer that's being removed. And all around us, you're seeing a lot of things happen right away, quickly, especially recently. So we want to try to keep the best handle on it and try to assess this. I don't want to get into demonizing anyone, because I realize that a lot of people are at different places, and I realize that we want to be more encouraging anyway. We don't want to be reporting bad news all the time, but there are some reasons we need to be prepared. As they say, occupy till the Lord comes. We might be in the early time period of the return of the Lord, so why not prepare? Why not prepare for the Lord? Because you know what? The way things have been going, I don't know how much longer we can keep going like this anyway. And I see the changes that are repositioning us into a better situation. My concern is, our primary concern should always be the president and our military and how they make decisions on our behalf. And believe you me, I know that there's some things that seem a little off, and there's some decision makers that maybe shouldn't be there. But for whatever reasons, we got to keep praying, okay? I want to be encouraging to one another. Listen, I know that there's a lot of people that don't like the president, okay? I know there's a lot of people that don't like a lot of people, okay? Including myself, okay? But I hope we can rise above this, okay? I realize that there are a lot of people that they're on each other's, blacklists, okay? But why can't we at least try to give each other the benefit of the doubt, okay? This is a good time to do that. It doesn't hurt. We just came off the Passover season, okay? This is time for grace, okay? We're in a season of redemption too. So I know some of us don't, whatever happened up to this point, some of us don't deserve it, but it doesn't matter at this point. We got to start here, and we got to start being encouraging to one another. I hope you listened to my previous report, because I had a rude awakening. I had a really incredible dream last night, and it really, really put things straight for me. And I just hope that you continue to pray for one another. Be there to be encouraging. This is a time to be encouraging, not throwing people under the bus. Although some people deserve to be thrown under the bus. But shouldn't we try to at least have some grace and give each other the benefit of the doubt? It's only been a little over 100 days, and we're seeing so much happen everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's something happening. There's either someone has a problem, someone has either a stub toe that got infected. Who knows? Anything can go. It could go either way, but it's how you respond, right? And if anyone I know, if we respond positively, you'll get better results. You respond to each other, and you don't throw each other under the bus and call each other names. It's easy. We ended up there a couple weeks ago. Me and my sister had this bad fight, and it's still trying. There's a cooling off period, and I was completely in the wrong for saying the things I said. So we got to be able to take personal responsibility, okay? I mean, we got to start somewhere, okay? And I know there's a lot of people, they don't want to apologize, or it's not gonna change the situation. It's gonna make it worse, not better, right? So I hope that we can be more encouraging to one another. And we're going to do our best to assess this, but I don't see how these things happen. And nothing happens quickly. You notice that we live in that microwave society where we think, okay, when is this going to get done? And believe me, it's really hard to sit down and try to assess this stuff in one day. I think when you look at the bigger picture and you look at the timeline of things that are happening around us, they kind of happen over a period of time. They're just little situations, but all those little things mean something. The way you respond to every situation. And you know what the Bible says? It says that we will give an account for everything we said. And believe you me, I wish I could take back some of the stupid things I said. So we want to be on the right track with this. We want to be encouraging to one another mostly, okay? And to me, you're going to be far more effective in every area. Instead of sitting here doing these news reports and talking about this problem, that problem, give you bad news, I have to keep some balance in it, okay? No, it's not realistic to just, put on my rose-colored glasses, okay? I know a lot of people that do that. That's not what I'm saying. I know a lot of people, they passively overlook things that's not intentional. I think sometimes when you look at all this news, it's like, okay, we're going to assess this differently. We're going to take a different approach. We're going to look at some of it. We're trying to weigh it out, do some commentary. But I know overall, these are some of the concerns that some of you have. I have. We all have had several different types of concerns, obviously. So we try to weigh it out the best we can. No, we're not going to get this completely perfect. Please quit trying to think that I have it all figured out, because I don't. I would never, ever tell anyone that I have it figured out. Oh, my gosh. I'm just trying to do the best I can. No, there's some people that really got under my nerves too. And there's some people aren't worthy of the trust. They didn't earn it. Maybe they said something. Maybe they said a lot of people. And there's a lot of ego entanglements, okay? But I still think at the end of the day, you still want to make sure at the end of the day that no one's messing with your leader in your country, okay? Because it always trickles down to us. And I know there's a lot of people that didn't vote for President Trump, but he's still your president, okay? And the way we were taught in the military, that is still your president. You still respect your president, okay? And I remember when my dad and my mom got divorced, okay? And you know what really was encouraging? And my dad never said a bad thing about my mother, at least to us, and that showed leadership. And boy, in this time and right now, we need to show leadership. I do believe that at a time when there's a lot of people that are saying this and that, there's always going to be a few that are going to be more encouraging and show leadership. And at a time when you have so many chiefs and not enough Indians, it's obvious that everyone wants to lead, and a lot of people don't want to follow. So I like to think that we're all going to bring something to the table, and we're all going to find ways to work together. There's a lot of people that pick their favorites. Some people are very cliquey, and they're protective for that reason. So we're independent, and we spend a lot of time with both people. I've talked to people on alt-right. I've met people that are in the left side of the media, and some of them are pretty nice people. And I've met some people that are mainstream and commentary and expert journalists. But you know what? What I've learned about all of those individuals, each one of them have something important to offer. And you don't even have to agree on politics. You don't have to agree on anything, but you might see something in them that might have something that would actually make sense to you. You know what I mean? We're not trying to find ways to disagree. We're finding ways to cooperate and get along with one another and work together. That seems to be something that's missing, especially in the media. if you haven't noticed already, we have moved some things over to Vimeo, and we're gradually phasing things off. I will probably most likely repost more of this stuff here, and you can find the Court of Public Opinion and all these reports all in one episode. So I'm going to combine a lot of this stuff so you can see it there at Vimeo. Thank you for listening to the Court of Public Opinion. Compass New Media and the Court of Public Opinion, Third Watch Update, and the Field Report all can be found at Vimeo. Thank you for listening.